the Download Youth Ministry podcast / web show.
Here we are.
Heyo.
Doug, Jason, Katie, Josh here. And if you want to know about us, just read it online. There's bios about it. This is our 276th episode.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We have some exciting things happening that you two don't even know about, Jason and Katie.
Wow. I'm excited that I know
On
about
air
it.
excitement.
Yeah.
I know, usually the last one.
Yeah, I know. It's so weird for me to be in the loop.
You're in the know.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh.
What? You
Maybe
know?
I do. I don't know what you're talking
How
about.
come you look so tan? I'm the one that just got back
I
from vacation.
was actually thinking that same thing, but I'm also
Sitting
sitting
next
next to
to me.
Katie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Katie is going as
Katie
Casper
is
the
the
Friendly Ghost to for Halloween.
Totally.
So
To our Download Youth
Yeah,
Ministry
it's fine.
friends
Wow.
and family, this is so important to me. I just landed in LAX about an hour and a
That's
half
true.
ago, 2 hours ago,
you
from
hustled
our 30th anniversary trip to a
Congratulations.
Polynesian island known as Haiti.
Hi, Kate.
That's how the locals pronounce
Yeah.
it.
Was it
And
magical?
it was unbelievable.
Did you stay in one of those huts over
Yes.
the water?
No way.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Well, you guys,
Clear water?
we did it, Jason. Okay, after the show, I'm going to show you just a couple pictures. We did it on our 25th year anniversary, and on day one, we said, okay,
We're
on
coming
our
back.
30th.
Oh my
Oh.
Already
goodness.
made plans to return.
Yeah.
Oh,
The second trip, yeah, it doesn't matter.
It was amazing.
It was amazing. I think we would have went back to the place we went first time. You can't ever beat that first experience. You try to go, let's go somewhere different.
Try something new.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should have.
No.
We should have stuck with it. We had a great time, but all I've done is change my shirt.
that's okay.
I have been up for.
It's great. You
many
look
hours.
tan. You look good.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You look
Yeah.
refreshed.
Okay,
Awesome.
here's the deal. So it's just that is my love and dedication.
Obviously.
Think about
Also-
these people.
Yeah,
the us.
he
Also,
Obviously.
because I knew our schedule is getting more and more difficult now that we have a senior pastor on the show.
Oh, boy.
So busy all the time.
To get us all together. But
What's
the
exciting?
great thing that worked about it is Kathy, coming straight from vacation
Oh, yeah.
into a meeting that wouldn't have gone well.
Not cool.
But it gave her a great excuse to get her hair. She went to get her hair colored before we left, and it was like, like
Okay.
they
So she's
ruined
gonna
it.
fix it now.
She's getting it fixed.
Yes.
So it was just perfect timing. Like, oh, you should go get it fixed.
And
Bam,
I'm-
podcast.
Here we are. Let's do a show.
Here, come on, wow,
Yeah,
do it.
Should we talk a little bit about how we're calling it a podcast and a web show? When it was a podcast, then it was a
Well,
web show. Now it's back to being a podcast.
We're not exactly sure that it's back to being a I said both, but here's the news. Here's the news. Ready?
Oh,
Here it is.
okay.
He's getting a $100,000 bonus.
Because
I'm
our
excited. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm
show
so excited.
is sponsored by Orange,
Uh-huh.
and Orange ups the game.
They really do.
They up the game
Oh, I
in
know
everything
this.
they do. They up the
Okay.
game in curriculum. They up the game in conferences. They up
Yeah.
the game in camps.
First class.
They haven't upped the game in their dollar sponsorship.
No.
No,
We
but
could use, yeah.
but we're taking their dollar sponsorship and we're upping the game.
Yeah, we are.
We've ordered 4 new mics that are going to go right here.
They're
I'm gonna
apparently
have-
they're huge,
Can I
like
be
softball size.
I want mine to be gold
Okay, we'll put some
Sequence,
gold.
no sequence.
or sparkles.
We've already ordered it. We should have thought gold. Darn it.
Diamonds or sparkles.
Darn it. Darn it. Darn it.
Yeah, only
Next
Doug's
time.
is actually solid gold.
Next time.
Yeah.
Well, obviously.
We've been watching the show Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a whole new,
All
I have
about
a whole
it.
new idea.
All about
it. Yeah.
So we've got booms, we've got
Mics.
stuff, the whole bit.
We're gonna look.
Josh
so, makeup
was,
artist.
Josh was
professional
supposed to
makeup
have it
artist.
set up for
So is
while
that
I
what
was
makes
gone.
us a podcast? Is that we have our own mics?
Yeah,
I feel like
Yeah.
we would be a radio show at that point.
they look a little bit like a radio
We're heading
show.
that way.
You know what?
I'm so
It's just
excited.
one more step in our takeover of all mass media.
Obviously. Yeah.
First a web show, then a podcast, then a
Hey,
web show, then a
speaking of
podcast.
takeover, our other sponsors, YM360, are pretty much taking over the youth
are.
ministry world.
They are. They do some cool stuff. They just announced
Open a
it.
new event division. You need to check them out. They're unbelievable stuff. Leader Treks. We're also sponsored by Leader Treks, who we love.
The best.
And I just got an email from them about all their refuel retreats.
Yeah.
And we need to send another team person on a refuel retreat.
I agree.
I can scout it.
I would
can
sure
scout
like to
it
go.
for us.
I'm not gonna
I
lie to you.
know.
Those are the
And
best.
Azusa Pacific University, we are grateful for our sponsorships
Absolutely.
that keep this thing going.
I know.
And after
And
275 shows,
I
we're now going to
know.
have mics,
So in
This is
like
exciting
a
stuff.
computer,
in 2 or 3
we
shows,
have a mixer.
it's gonna sound
We
good.
should wear name
It-
tags.
this-
maybe.
Well, people will actually listen to it.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exciting.
Because last time we were here, Josh, there was actually a microphone here.
Yeah.
And I noticed now
We're trying something new, just to show how badly we need the other mics.
Yeah.
We're trying
Anyway,
this setup.
it has been ordered.
Love it.
All right,
great.
here's a great question. And I'm not going to read this person's name only because they wrote straight to me.
Okay.
And because I can't answer everybody's questions, I just transfer those over into, have my assistant say, wish Doug could, but he'll answer it on the web show. This is one of those, but we don't have his permission to read his name. So anyway, it's a good
stranger.
question. Full-time youth pastor at a medium-sized church in Maryland where I've attended since 1999. I'm evaluating our model for youth ministry, specifically regarding the age-separated worship model that we currently hold. In 2001, we moved to purpose-driven and took on Saddleback's structure of holding a separate service for youth and children. I've read a variety of your books, Purpose-Driven Youth Ministry, First 2 Years, What Matters Most, a few others, yet I have not found in any of your books or articles a significant evaluation of the effectiveness for holding a youth service separate from adult worship. I'd be very interested in hearing and gathering research in your experience on this. If you have written materials on the topic or a web show that deals with this on DYM, would appreciate if you direct me there. So we're going to direct him to episode 276.
Yeah, this is it. Boom.
Well,
Here we go.
I didn't write about it, and I'm going to describe it in Purpose-Driven Youth Ministry, but I have said publicly at conferences and things like that, if I was to rewind the clock, I would do something different. I'm not sure what I had done different, but I think where it hit me, I mean, first of all, a moment of defense is that when I got here, it's out back in 1992.
Yeah.
Katie was a
Senior.
senior in high school.
I wasn't even born yet. That's
Senior in high school.
You were
Yeah.
a senior in high school.
We were all. Are we all 90? Class of 92?
Yeah.
We
That's
are.
great.
Wow. Okay, keep going.
81.
Yeah.
You know, Tahiti. That's all you gotta remember.
Yeah.
Just
Gray hairs
Meeting.
right there.
30 years, but you're okay.
Yeah. So,
At least you have hair. Well,
yeah. If the camera shoots this way, we're in trouble.
we aren't getting any higher quality cameras, just for Doug's sake.
That's
The
right.
microphone's
There's a
gonna be
special
crisp.
filter.
The microphone's gonna be crisp.
Low res.
But
Here we go.
what happened is the church was booming. We were in a high school, and Rick Warren, the pastor, needed open seats.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was his mandate, like, start a service for kids so we can open up the seats.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, great. And we did, and we did, and we did, and it just went that way, booming, cruising, growing. And where it hit me is I remember it was a Wednesday night Bible study for the main church. We were taking a bunch of kids down to Mexico for a mission trip, and we brought them in to be prayed for by the church on Wednesday night. And Pastor Rick was on stage explaining the youth ministry and being proud of it, and these kids are going to Mexico and the whole bit. I'm sitting next to standing. We stood in the aisles around the crowd.
Cool.
And one kid leans over to me and goes, "Who's the guy in the Hawaiian shirt?" And he was talking about Rick. And I went, "Oh, amazing that this kid is a regular enough,
Going on a mission trip.
going on a mission trip who didn't have any idea the pastor of the church." And you know, I'm not a real sharp guy, but that was a day when I went, "Oh, maybe we've missed
Maybe.
something there."
Yeah.
And you know, we made various attempts. I think you guys are still trying to figure this out, a worship together weekend.
Yeah, we're trying to kind of an in-between step of we're still holding regular youth group services outside of the adult worship services, but once a month or a couple times a quarter is where we're at right now. We do worship together where everyone's together, rubbing shoulders with the whole church and everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's met with some success and honestly some pushback.
Yeah.
I think people really enjoy a specific service for them. The adults like a service for adults. And the high school students, junior high students, like a service and a message. It's designed for them. So I think parents actually kind of appreciate the specialization that we have provided for these different age groups.
Which doesn't mean it's right.
Doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah, because my observation of parent of teenagers through that worship together weekend is that, and I've said this on the show before, I don't think it works.
Right.
There might be some kids that are going. I think it's great for staff. Get a weekend off.
Yeah, I'll take that all day.
But I don't think your numbers, what you guys would have between the two of you in junior high and high school, those numbers would anywhere be close to what they'd have in the main service.
Yeah.
I think honestly, from what I've seen,
You might have to talk a little louder too. I'm wondering, Josh. Do you think?
We tested it all before you guys got here.
Oh, great. That's a first, ladies and gentlemen.
I
You know
think
why?
at
You know
our
why? Because I care. I care deeply.
That's great, Josh.
About you, the team members. And I know I'll get
What a
ribbed
guy.
for 4 years if I don't do it right. So
Sorry.
okay, what are you gonna say? Keep going.
Are you
But speak
ready?
up.
Just a little louder.
Okay,
Speak up a little bit.
ready?
Because I can barely hear you. Next one.
I think at our campus, being a little bit larger, and we at our church we have multiple locations where we have church happening. At some of our other campuses, I think Worship Together Weekend is really cool.
It's booming.
Because the youth pastors at those campuses have a presence at Worship Together Weekend that Josh and I don't have at our particular campus. So I think they see a little bit of a larger attendance of youth because some of our peers are running games in the adult service. They're doing humor pieces. They have a platform there. Because I don't know if it's because the campus is a little smaller or if the program just has a little bit more space for that. So they have a lot of really cool platforms out on Worship Together Weekend that we can't or don't experience. And so I think at our campus it's just a little bit of a struggle, but at some of the other places it's a lot cooler and they are seeing a lot more youth involved. So I would say if there is a way for you to partner with the adult team and not to make it a youth Sunday or anything like that, but to have a presence, to be able to bring in some elements and pieces that youth are attracted to, we've seen that happen, and for us, we just don't have that freedom. So I don't know.
You know, it's interesting. The church that I go to, they have a junior high during the service, but the junior hires come in during the music time, then they leave, and they have a specialized junior high deal. The high school kids stay there the whole time, but they all sit together. So it's not like they're going with their family.
Right.
They're just experiencing the service together.
Yeah.
So I think they're, so it's a great question.
Which you gotta wonder, is that the goal?
Yeah.
Like, do they want the families to sit together and then the high school students are doing it anyway?
Or is the goal, Mr. Senior Pastor, that teenager would fall in love with his church, not his youth group, that would find community, faith development, relationships, old people, young people. When they graduate high school, they don't go, a lot of our kids go down the street to Rock Harbor or something like that because it's the younger, cooler, hipper service.
But the pendulum's swinging maybe because probably the 90s and the 2000s, everything was so youth kids just want their own thing, and so there was such a separation. And I wonder if everybody's kind of wondering now, gosh, our families don't even know each other. And like you said, the kids have zero connection to what's happening in the church, and everybody's seeing decade after decade of kids falling off the map as soon as they go to college. So what are some solutions? And so I think people are making, I love what you said too, how do you make a part in the service? How do you get kids involved in the service in some way every now and then? We used to have youth Sundays twice a year, and that was always such a huge hit. You get the youth band up there, you get the youth pastor to preach, you get the youth to do announcements and all kinds of stuff. And the people love that. But everything's just balanced and that pendulum swinging. I think people are trying to just figure it out and get it right.
I would agree with all that, but I'd also say at the same time, a separate service for high school students or junior high students is awesome.
Yeah.
We're tackling topics that matter to our high school students. Our whole fall is felt needs and strong doctrine and foundation. we're trying to prepare them for the future.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
And if they go to a big church, it's good, and I'm glad they're part of it, but they don't care about how to financial freedom with God's generosity,
Yeah.
Well, and we have junior hires and a high schooler, and they there's a lot of things that that you're ministering to my high schooler that she isn't getting in other places too. So it's really cool. I love that for her.
Yeah, and I hate it that my son is bummed that junior high ministry's canceled for the week because we're doing worship together. He's legitimately bummed by that.
That's my experience with my kids.
They
But
were
I
bummed.
think there's so many different layers that you can do intergenerational stuff. It doesn't
I
just
agree.
have to be the worship service. So mission stuff, or even having volunteers of all different ages in your volunteer team. So we have grandparents, we have empty nesters, we have college students, we have parents. I think
everyone talks about the worship service, but there's so much
Yes.
more to church than the worship service.
Yeah.
I think them being separate totally works. Just look for other avenues to bring them together. Yeah.
And when you're saying fall in love with the church as a whole, then it's giving them all those other pieces to fall in love with.
Right.
I think it's a great question. In
it's
my
good.
mind, I'm going, I think I could come up with probably, not going to say that I'm going to,
Sure.
but I could probably come up with 10 ways to make our church more more family friendly,
Yeah.
more
I
the
think that would be
worship
great.
service.
Why don't
It'd
you
be a
do
nice
it?
service to our community, Doug.
It would
Well,
be.
there are
I'm just so
Just
refreshed
check the
and
link in the
tired.
profile.
Yeah, totally.
but family
Start a new
friendly.
reading project right now, please.
Family friendly youth
Write a
ministry,
short
Jim
book.
Burns, Sticky Faith, Kara Powell.
Yeah, there's
there's some
great
good
resources
thinking out there. But I just don't think you throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think you go, let's do great specialized ministry for high school and junior high students. I think that's still really
Absolutely.
wise,
Effective.
very effective. But how do we kind of do a both end? Is there a way to integrate and intergenerational?
Yeah.
Well,
Is it possible to do both?
if we could, in some of the models that have adult Sunday school, to me that's your easy win. Is you go to church together as a family at one service, then they go to their adult Sunday school.
Yes.
You have an age graded
You go.
deal.
Yep.
Do you
that-
think that that's a pretty traditional model still? Like for
I think
most
it's a
churches?
traditional Baptist model.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say to tag onto that,
Yeah.
just that as long I couldn't agree more. I think the problem, what I've heard sometimes around the country, is sometimes when people go too far on the other end of we are an island, we are just a silo, we are just youth ministry, and big church sucks and all that. Like you've heard it, and it
I
happens.
thought
and
that
people,
was a private conversation. I don't know.
but if people head that way, and I would just encourage any
No,
youth pastor
absolutely.
listener to make sure you are in alignment with the vision of the
Yeah.
church. Make sure you are even if you are doing specialized youth services, make sure you get the heartbeat of what God is saying to the greater congregation as a whole, as you as a part of it, and that goes for everybody. That goes for men's ministry, women's ministry, right?
Yeah.
It goes for worship ministry. People have got to walk together with the same vision.
And that's
Absolutely.
purpose-driven youth ministry. I
Yeah.
mean, so even purpose-driven youth ministry as a whole is aligned with the larger vision of our church, you
Yeah.
know? And so
Right.
things were adapted to youth, but nothing strayed from what was happening in the church as a whole.
Yeah.
So
Which, interestingly enough, I think purpose-driven youth ministry, the book anyway, is getting a resurgence.
Awesome.
I can just tell by sales, emails. There is a our age.
It's Katie. Katie's
Well,
single-handedly.
she's-
there was 4 that were
I
sold
read it.
last year.
There was a resurgence.
I'm just getting a lot of questions related to things that are specifically in in that book, and I think there is this potentially. Kathy and I were talking about this generation of youth worker that kind of grew up with it,
Right.
that are now in senior leadership, that are saying to younger people,
Yeah, get that.
You
Let's
need-
do
you need
this.
to read this.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's
Question: what's a better written book, Purpose-Driven Youth Ministry or Purpose-Driven Church?
Wow.
Or Purpose-Driven Life?
Well,
What's the best-
all
what's
of
the
us.
best written one?
Let's put it this way: we'd have had microphones a long time ago if any of us would have written "Purpose-Driven Life." So
that's a good book.
that's a good book, and
It's great.
the
It's
movie that's coming
They're
out.
coming out.
Oh my
very
I
God.
will,
soon.
I will tell you this.
Captive.
Again,
Excited.
been here a
Yeah.
long time. When Purpose-Driven Church came out and Purpose-Driven Youth Ministry came out, I had church planters say that they read Purpose-Driven Church for the concept. They went, "Oh, I get it," but Purpose-Driven Youth Ministry sliced it thinner in terms of more practical. How do you do it in
That's great.
different ways? But
So
No,
they
we
complement
would
each other.
still
They
still
totally
use
do.
it.
I think it's a
to this day.
movement together.
Absolutely. I thought for sure you were going to say, first 2 years in youth ministry is better than all of them. Just kind of out that one.
Hey, speaking about Purpose-Driven Life, the movie Captive.
Yeah.
I'm so
In
excited
theaters
to see
next
it.
week.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That
8
looks
days from
great.
when
Well,
we're shooting
not-
this.
Yeah, let's
So
say
yeah, this
it-
fall.
It comes out September 17th. You might be
Yeah.
listening to this after September 17th.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it yet.
No,
Seen the
looks
preview?
great.
Have you seen the preview?
I've seen the preview,
Oh, yeah.
and my friend Brian
Yeah.
Bird,
He wrote it.
he wrote the screenplay.
And there's
Awesome.
like legit actors in it, and I mean it's
The Selma dude, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
David
Yeah.
Olaleo.
Yeah.
He's how awesome is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Made that up. I don't know how to spell.
Halle
I don't know how to
Berry.
say
It's
his last
like along about those
It's-
lines.
yeah.
Oh,
Tom
it's
Cruise.
Oyulelo. No, it's not. It's not at all.
name. Either way,
I
legit
like him.
cast, great
Tom
story.
Hanks and
And I was watching some clips of it, and Purpose-Driven Life is literally like
In the movie
it
the whole
handed
time.
to the- yeah.
Talk about a resurgence of sales.
Yeah.
If
It's gonna sell
Zondervan is not
4
ready for that.
Yeah,
It's gonna
she's
sell 4.
holding it and reading out of it
Yeah.
for the 2 clips that I saw.
Every 4 seconds, it's going to sell 4. It's going to be great. No, it looks like a great movie, and we actually have a discussion guide, captive discussion guide on Download Youth Ministry. So
Yeah, that's free.
yeah, free.
So go to downloadyouthministry.com, download that.
That's cool.
Yeah, see the movie or
is there a separate captive show? Don't you guys do movie shows.
Movie
Oh yeah, we
reviews?
just put an interview with
Or
Ryan
is that
Burke in the
different?
feed.
No,
this past week.
we
It's
did.
up.
Yeah. I was gone.
Yeah.
I saw it from
Vacation
Tahiti, about 5 minutes of it, and because Josh didn't do it, I didn't do it. Chip did it,
Oh, cool.
and they did a Skype interview with the writer.
You might not know who Chip is, but Chip actually, he does customer service for Downland Youth Ministry. Chip was like a Hollywood man.
Yeah.
Like he was,
Like
he
a
worked
producer
in
type guy, right?
On One Tree Hill,
One Tree Hill, a bunch of cool shows
Really?
for Warner
Yeah.
Brothers, and
Halle Berry's assistant.
where Halle Berry?
I don't know who's the lady in
I don't
Captive.
know.
Kate Mara.
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I like
House of
her.
Cards came out, right?
Mhm.
Oh, House of Cards.
Wait, what? House of Cards. What does she play in House of Cards?
She's the journalist. in the
Journalist in
first couple
season
seasons.
1, 2, 1, 2.
That gets killed, pushed under.
No,
the
spoiler alert! You can't say that.
That's season 1.
Nope, you can't say it. You can't say it. I'm
That-
so
It
sorry.
Thanks
doesn't
a lot,
happen like
Someone
that. It's
that-
different.
I was just gonna start House of Cards, and now
No, you should.
What?
No.
The title of this episode needs
It's,
to be
spoiler
Spoiler alert. Yes.
Spoiler
Welcome
for House
back.
of Cards is coming.
Oh no! I'm granted that was 4 years ago that first season came out,
It
but
was, a
still,
long time ago.
but still, that's like saying
it's like saying, "Did
No,
you hear
don't
the
say it.
Titanic? The boat sank."
No, come on.
Darth
Am I
Vader,
right?
Luke's dad.
No more spoilers.
This is a spoiler show.
Really?
I love it. Yeah.
All right. Well, the
The
Downland
kid
Youth
was always dead in
Ministry.
6 Sense.
The
Oh.
Downland Youth Ministry.
Stop it right now! Stop it!
Unbreakable refers
You
to the
are-
guy's body. He could never die. Oh my goodness!
Are we only talking about M. Night?
No, we're
movies?
stopping right now to say, not the show. We're just pausing to say
No more
thank you,
spoilers.
thank you.
Star Wars Episode 7, Boba Fett
Orange,
comes
our
back.
primary sponsor.
Maybe.
Hey, the guys,
No more
this
crosstalk.
is who's
No
paying
more
for our
crosstalk.
new
Okay.
equipment.
Oh, yeah,
Orange.
Orange.
Love you,
Yes,
Orange.
yes, yes.
Buy
yeah.
XP3 students, at least Google it and download it and try it. Check it out. It's good
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
We're using it in our student
Okay.
ministry this year. I was talking to life group leaders at lunch like an hour ago. They were so stoked because there's a video that goes with each lesson.
Yeah.
Could be you, could be other great youth workers, whatever. So some of the pressure is off them now because now they're like, I can play a video instead of having to fully how do I come? They are stoked about it, and
Cool.
so I'm excited.
It's
It's great.
And middle school has a curriculum that just came out.
Came out. It's great stuff.
Yeah, I'm forgetting the name of it right now. Oh, it's XP3 Junior High.
Yeah, middle school.
Yeah,
Mhm.
XP3
It's
Middle
awesome.
School.
Yeah, check it out.
And we're going to be at the Orange Tour, and I wish I had a website for that, but just
Probably just
It's
a
a
Orange
one
tour.
day Orange Tour instead of the Orange Conference in April.
Mhm.
They do it in 14 spots around the country.
Including Orange County, we'll be there in 2 weeks. It'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Cool.
But we get 2 days.
We get 2 days. Orange County
Everybody else
gets 2
gets
days.
1 day.
Yeah, we
We
do.
get 2. Why?
Oh,
Orange County's
that's
the best.
exciting.
Yeah.
Supertones were born
Because
here,
people
that's
want to
why.
come here, that's why.
No, it's an experiment.
I like it.
Reggie and I were saying, let's try it in Orange County.
It's fun. Although having a 2-day event called Orange One Day,
It's not that big.
Little
But it's Orange
counterintuitive.
County.
Stop it.
It's
And we're back. We're so grateful for our primary sponsor, Orange. And Leader Tracks is also a sponsor, and Youth Ministry 360 doing amazing things, and Azusa Pacific University. I need some new shirts, by the way.
I know. Usually,
You need some new shirts?
Usually
Some
sporting
Azusa
Azusa.
Pacific
yeah.
University
Get some
shirts.
new gear.
And by the time our kids get to college.
Yeah,
and
a
some
lot of
scholarships.
help that worked on me. So,
Yeah.
all right. This is from Please Don't Read My Name. About 2 years ago, our children's pastor was fired, seemingly out of the blue. See, now in the new podcast, when we have microphones and we have a director, that would be like, bum, 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 bum.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That makes
Or
sense.
it'd be a sound clip of McGill being, sorry you got canned.
Something like that.
McGill sound bites would be a
It would be.
wonderful.
That'd be nice.
addition.
We should make an
Yeah.
app.
I
It's
wish
just
we
McGill
had
sound
I
bites.
wish we had a podcast intern.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
could.
I bet we could find one.
You think
Well,
so?
well, send your submissions in.
Could
Let's
they be
find
on
out
your
right now.
junior high team?
Maybe. I've
Do
got
you
some
want to be
great ones.
personally mentored by Doug Fields? I mean, throw that in. No.
Sure.
Do you want to intern on the podcast?
Do you want
They'll
to
give you
intern on
20
the
hours a week
podcast?
of personal discipleship.
Personal
Yeah, some
subject
leadership
mentoring.
training.
We'll hang.
We're gonna rewrite PYM.
I hang with everybody. I hang with everybody I
You
work
do.
with.
It is a good hang too.
Yeah,
You should
but
come.
you got to be good. I
join
don't
us.
And you need to like Del Taco.
Yeah, a lot of
So,
Del
Yeah.
yeah.
And just
A
you,
little bit
you
of
have
that.
to like to drink.
Yeah.
And we're back.
Tweet that.
About 2 years ago, our children's pastor was fired seemingly out of the blue.
Why are you pointing at me?
Bum bum bum.
Oh,
I got you.
I thought you were saying I'm going to get
I
fired.
got your back.
All right.
She's still a rookie,
Little
Jason.
insecurity over there.
John,
I'm a
John.
effects person, so I can't do
Try one more time.
church-
Try one more
Nah.
time. Come on, Doug. Give
No,
me a
Mom-
shot.
Mama's
Come
coming,
on,
bro.
coach. Let me have a shot.
It may come back. Just be ready.
Dun, dun.
Be ready to be in the game.
No, that wasn't it.
The church rumor was that she was fired because the pastor's wife didn't get along with her.
Oh, church rumor.
We quickly took care of those rumors and put the issues behind us. My issue today is now that the pastor's child is in our youth program, I suddenly have a lot of pressure coming from the pastor's wife. She's been a great volunteer, but also has a controlling aspect to the way she has suggestions. Think so? It is beyond a worried new parent with a kid in youth ministry questions and ideas, and other parents have said the same thing. How do I handle our pastor's wife, and how should I approach the pastor about this? I feel like she oversteps the line in places, and I'm worried about my response to her questions and suggestions considering the past rumors. It has made me rethink the rumors from a few years ago.
There you go. There, that could
Dun,
have been.
dun, dun. It was still late. It was still late.
It worked. It still works.
I know.
It,
Well, it's not
that's a losing situation. You
little
can't.
pit
It's
in my
not.
stomach.
Katie just said it's sad. You got the pit, but here's the
Yeah.
deal. That's real. That is like, if not every church in America, every third church that has something like that,
Oh,
where when the pastor's kid gets in your youth group,
Things change.
if things change. You feel you're feeling on the spot. You feel that pressure.
Yeah.
Depending on what kind of relationship you have with the pastor, I don't think you can think that this will get better by ignoring it or trying to do a little tap dance every time she makes a suggestion. At some point after like the 8th suggestion, you probably need to call a meeting between the two of them.
Yeah.
Or ask the pastor, could I have a meeting with your family to figure out the best way to minister to your family? We've said this a lot. One of the best ways to care for the pastor is to care for the kids. You take care of my kid, you're a fan for life. And I think, pastor, I want your kids to have a great experience in youth ministry. I want them to have a great experience. And I need your help to know what are some of the needs that you're experiencing, that your family needs right now, how I can come alongside of that and care for you in that situation. And then in doing so, let me just being real honest with you, Betty, I feel like sometimes your suggestions are not suggestions, they're commands. And I just need your guys' help in knowing how to discern that.
Yeah. Well, because usually everybody in the room is also hearing what she's saying.
Yeah.
And they're going, oh, that's the senior pastor's wife. He's got to do what they're talking about or whatever. So, I mean,
It cuts out his authority.
It really does.
Cuts his legs out.
But at the same time, how would you not want her to serve? And she certainly brings something valuable to your youth ministry and to your team. But it is hard to have your legs cut out from underneath you.
Well, there needs to be an honest conversation with her. The tension that she lives in is probably nobody cares more about the church than her and her husband. When you
Yeah.
think about your world,
true.
Jason,
Right.
nobody cares about your church more than you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have that, and then you're wearing the parent hat.
Sure. Which is
Which
stressful and crazy.
We all know,
Yeah.
as a parent of a teenager, that's
Panic
not
and
an easy.
insecure
That's
and
not an
freaking
easy deal.
against.
Yeah. The one thing that I heard in here that I would say to whoever wrote this, if about the church rumor from 2 years ago, I would, this is my personal opinion, mind your own business. It's like, if it's a rumor from 2 years ago, don't be like reading into it and having feelings come up two years
Color
later.
all your
If
thinking,
you need
yeah.
to go like seriously talk to her and ask her point blank, if you're that bold and that stupid, because I wouldn't. That's crazy to go and say, hey, 2 years ago, did you just fire this person because you didn't like him? I mean, that's kind of that's a harsh accusation, and there's way more to this story. So you have to have grace for something, a story you don't know about.
Yeah.
But I would say, don't bring that into this. Deal with this. You got. If she's making suggestions that seem like commands and cutting your authority out, that's real, and deal with it. But don't bring in drama. And I'm sure there's people around this leader that are hearing all these conversations. Don't fuel a fire. For lack of fuel, fire goes out, right? So don't sit there and fuel it. But it's true though. Like she's got a lot invested. I mean, I think about, and we just planted here 5 months ago, and my wife, she has ideas like all day long about the church and is doing things all day long behind the scenes, and she loves it and stuff. And she's serving anywhere she can. She's super shy and wouldn't assert herself like that, but you know, you gotta like just at least show some respect for that for a senior pastor's wife for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the alternative is just do whatever she says and abdicate your leadership entirely to her, and then you'll be gone in a few years because you're not going to be able to survive in that type of environment. Mm-hmm. So something has to be done, or it's going to cost you your job at some point. You're not going to make it, if your son or daughter's a freshman, you're not going to make it 4 years in that environment. So something has to happen.
Or you'll be miserable.
Either you're going to be miserable and you're going to break, or you're going to be miserable, everyone's going to know it, you're going to be let go. Like, it's not going to solve itself. It really isn't. You can't just do nothing. That's not an option.
Yeah. Well, any parent who had strong suggestions constantly, you'd probably have a conversation with.
Yeah, I mean, I think so many things can be remedied through great, loving, honest conversation and relationship. I mean, we say it all the time. Like, talk to them, meet with them. I think sometimes we spend so much so much time being consumed by the fear of a conversation or anticipating that it's gonna be negative or it's gonna be bad. But I don't know, when you sit across the table from someone and you give them a chance to share their heart, you share your heart. You know, there are a lot of times where that can remedy a million different things in a situation.
I'll give you a real story we just had this past summer. We had a lady in the church, wonderful woman who served for a lot of years and isn't serving at the moment. She wanted to make a significant donation to our scholarship fund for camp. I mean, a single-handed, like, scholarship, a ton of kids kind of donation. A miracle thing, awesome. But with that came 25 suggestions and ideas, and it felt like some strings attached to it. Mm-hmm. And so, and I'm coming in going, man, we really need this money. This is the most generous. I'm so thrilled. But man, the headache that I have bought for this donation is, what happened was we sat down and we had a wonderful conversation. It was very grace-filled and thankful and really, like, incredible. And she gave a lot of ideas, and what's so crazy is some of them were really good. Like, one in particular, I was like, that is the coolest idea that I've ever heard, and we're gonna do it. And we tried it this summer and it crushed. So part of it is also, maybe you're coloring this and hearing things and insecure, and maybe there's some legit good ideas from an unlikely source, and maybe there's some truth in there too. Like, don't just throw it all out because of who she is and your own insecurity.
Yeah.
So we stumbled onto something pretty cool this summer. So I'm thankful for that, because it was a high maintenance.
I just know that myself, there are times where I role play a situation in my head and I'm like talking it out, and oh my gosh, okay, if this person fires back with this is what I'll say, you know, like, I mean, there's just so many times where we work things into a place that they don't belong. Right. And so having a direct conversation just seems to...
Sooner rather than later. Honest conversation is
Yeah.
what you're hearing us say.
Yeah.
And you're going to hear us say more in episode 277, which we're going to record next because we're committed to shorter shows.
Yeah, I like it.
And so we're now doing 2 shows.
There's something fun about getting through a show and you're like, I got time for one more. Or I'm going to sneak it. There's something about that. I've started listening to some more podcasts lately. And it's a little bit addictive.
I'm so hooked on one that every time it ends, I'm like, I'm glad I started late.
Because there's a bunch of
I'm binging on it now.
Are you a rewinder now? Is that what you're saying?
No.
This show is so good.
Serial's working out pretty good.
Ooh.
Is that it?
Do you watch that? Oh.
You know
watch it. You know.
I mean, sorry, listen to it. I didn't mean to say that.
Kathy and I listened to, we listened to like 10 minutes of the first one, said, let's do this, let's listen to this together. But there's another one that turned me on to Serial.
Okay.
That it's a business one that Josh and I are listening to for Download Youth Ministry, and it's really good.
A business podcast, cool.
It's really a story podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a story.
It's more of an NPR type deal.
Yeah. Yeah, business isn't totally fair. That sounded kind of
yeah.
It's cool.
No,
it's not as good as this show.
It's a story of his business.
Obviously.
All right.
Awesome. All right.
Anyway, so brought to you by
Orange. Azusa Pacific.
YM360.
YM360.
No, you're supposed to go bum bum.
No.
Leader Treks.
And Leader Treks.
And I wish we had some books to hold up for Angie Franklin.
Oh, Angie, what's the deal?
Yeah.
Hey, can we give a % off of the new events from YM360, or will they just get really upset?
I think YM360 is a little big now for our little Mickey Mouse.
Can
you imagine?
Do your worst.
Okay.
Yeah, here it
register
is.
for an event? I can't do it. Maybe next show. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
See you next
But
time.
before you go, I have one important thing to say. Dun dun dun!
You're only one show away, friends, from really good audio and maybe being able to hear
Yeah.
us.
One show.